All right. Hello and welcome back to In the Black. We are on day 5, final day of the summit. Thank you all for joining us this week. Hopefully you got to watch most or the majority of all the talks. And if you haven't been able to watch some of them or any of them, then you can always go back to summit.gorgias.io. All the talks are going to be available as replays after this event is over. I'm just going to hang around for a couple of minutes right now. We haven't started yet, so I'm just going to wait for people to start joining in. I can already see a few people jumping into the webinar right now. Hello, Callie, Kara, Rich, and everyone else on here. Thank you for joining us again for our final day here. And this first session of the final day, there's another small session towards the end of the day where I'm just going to do a quick recap of the entire event. So this is really the last session of the summit, where you'll get some actual real strategies and advice from another expert. So jump into the chat there. Let us know what you thought of the summit so far and what you're looking forward to in this talk right now. Kara says, good morning, happy Friday. Good morning, Kara, happy Friday to you too. I'm just gonna, we're still a couple of minutes, another minute away from the start of the thing. So I'm just gonna go over quickly what's happened in the summit so far and kind of tie that into this talk right now. So throughout this entire summit in the Black, it's been about, helping you retailers be profitable during Black Friday. And so right from the start, we had, Aaron from Shopify Plus talk to us about some numbers that he's seen and data he's collected from Shopify. We have had Roman from Gorgias, who's hosting this event, the help desk for Shopify, talk about customer support. We have had Jordan from CartHook talk about conversion rates in the checkout. Steve from Smile talk about customer loyalty. Reza from Shoelace talk about creating customer journeys. And a whole lot of content basically around this idea of customer support, giving your customers a really great experience, building that customer loyalty, and so not having to depend on paid advertisements all the time to get new traffic, but sort of nurturing your existing customer base and getting them to repurchase, because that's where you get the highest ROI. So if you missed any of the talks, just go back to summit.gorgias.io. You will be able to, I'll just drop the link here in the chat. You'll be able to see all of that stuff. And so just to wrap up the event, we have Matt from Okendo. Matt is the CEO and co-founder of Okendo. And he is going to be talking about converting your holiday shoppers into holiday buyers with user-generated content. And this ties into this concept of giving your customers a really good experience. You don't want them to just be these one-off people who come in and purchase just because you have a discount and then never show up again. So he's going to talk about turning these shoppers during the holidays into actual buyers, and how you can create that user-generated content that will live on your site as well, which will continue to bring in more organic traffic even after the holiday shopping season, and help you build up more of those sales without having to spend more money on ads. So without further ado, we are at the top of the hour. Please give me give Matt a warm welcome. Matt, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sid, and good morning to everybody. Sid, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm very excited and looking forward to speaking to all of the attendees about how they can use user-generated content to convert holiday shoppers into holiday buyers. Okay, so let's start off with a quick agenda. I think we're going to start off by just touching on some of the numbers behind Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and just to get a feel for how important it is and just how big of a revenue opportunity it is for all of our retailers this year. And then the topic of the speech today is about converting shoppers into buyers using UGC. So the implication, of course, is that user-generated content is great at converting shoppers into buyers. So the second part of the talk today is just going to touch on some of the theory around why user-generated content is so effective at converting shoppers into buyers. Once that's done, we're going to head into the actionable part of the talk today, and that's really going to be the majority of the talk. So we're going to talk about how you can generate awesome UGC before Black Friday and Cyber Monday begins. And then we're going to show you how you can deploy that UGC at strategic places throughout your website, throughout the buying journey, in order to maximize your holiday conversions. I think that part will probably take us about 45 minutes. And then we'll have 15 minutes at the end to run through Q&A. And I think there might even be some prezzies and giveaways as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Let's get into it. So that's me there on the right. My name's Matt Goodman. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Okendo. That's me with the big cheesy grin. And I hope it's going to be the same type of grin that all you folks are going to have at the end of Black Friday and Cyber Monday as well. What we might call the money grin, if you will. We've been Shopify partners for the last 4 or 5 years. As you might be able to already tell with my accent here, we are an Australian company. We're headquartered out in Sydney. We're living in the future. It's almost 5 a.m. here in Sydney. But unfortunately, I don't have insights on how to predict the future. Otherwise, I probably would have taken away that 1.6 billion lotto that I saw you folks had over there the other day. So Okendo is a customer reviews platform for Shopify retailers. It's exclusively built for the Shopify platform, which means we're hyper-focused on both the needs of Shopify retailers and also the opportunities that the Shopify platform really provides for retailers as well. We're a great fit for high-growth Shopify retailers, folks that have a little bit more of an operational maturity, perhaps doing over that kind of $5 to $10 million mark in annual revenue. And we are working with some of the really biggest names and the fastest growing brands on Shopify, like Paul Evans, like Domify, like Margot. Okay, so part 1, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, the revenue opportunity of the year. Seems like my little emojis haven't come through there, but that one's going to be the money face as well, because it is obviously going to be such a big opportunity for everyone this year. So we're going to take a quick look at some of the numbers that Aaron shared in his presentation that really bring to life exactly the money that's going to be on the table for retailers this year. So the predicted to spend this year is going to be $5.8 billion. And that's a really big increase of 15% from the $5 billion that was spent in 2017. Similarly, we've got some billion-dollar figures for consumer spending on Thanksgiving, and that's an even bigger increase from the $2.87 billion that was spent in 2017. So if we drill in here, just over $5 billion for Black Friday, and just coming up to $7 billion for Cyber Monday. So huge amounts of money on the table for retailers, huge opportunity. And what we're going to be really focusing on today is how you can capitalize on that opportunity, convert the shopper traffic into buyers. Now, I thought this was a particularly interesting slide that Aaron shared, as it breaks down sales per category, with apparel being far and away the leading category in which consumers intend to make sales within. Mm-hmm. We've got nearly $1.5 million worth of sales in apparel last year. And I thought that's actually quite interesting, given that it's the apparel industry which is probably the least well represented in terms of retailers using UGC. So I think if we have any apparel retailers on the call today, this is going to be particularly relevant for you. If you're not already using UGC, I hope this kind of convinces you to start doing that, because you do certainly have the biggest opportunity here. And if you are, then we're going to show you how you can take that to the next level.
Yeah, if any of you are in apparel or have tried to have been in that industry before, let us know in the chat. Callie asks if we have a stat for toys and children's category. I think maybe games would be that category, but I'm not sure.
Could be. That's actually a great question, because we know children's products is definitely a sizable category and deserving of its own kind of bullet point here as well. Let's follow up Aaron and get that figure.
Yeah.
So accessories, your phone cases, sunglasses, watches, that's of course going to be a big category. housewares, shoes, makeup, and then it slowly starts to peter out a bit there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure many of the folks on the call today are going to belong to one of these categories. So it's particularly useful, I guess, to see just how many sales are on the table and whether you're going to be able to take part of that as well. Now, thinking about the types of marketing channels folks are going to be using to acquire customers, all of the top 3 channels that retailers intend to use to acquire customers are paid. So it's your Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads. And what I guess I took away from that was retailers are going to be spending a lot of money in driving traffic to their store. In particular, this time of the year, this acute period where ad spend goes up and you're going to be getting a significant increase in new shoppers to the stores, shoppers that may not necessarily be particularly familiar with the brand or the products. And even in the channels for the marketing channels for folks that, for customers that you already have in terms of reactivating your existing customers, you can see that even 3 of those top 5 channels there are going to be paid as well. So retargeting on Facebook and on Instagram, it's again, you're going to be spending money to get people back to the site. Mm-hmm. So what I'm setting it up here for is that retailers are obviously going to have this dramatic increase in ad spend over this Black Friday and Cyber Monday period. According to these figures, it's going to be an increase of 140%. So given that context, it's more important than ever, as well as the revenue opportunity that's on the table, but also given the increase in ad spend, that you're doing everything possible to convert those shoppers, both new shoppers that might be unfamiliar with your brand, or your existing customers that you've paid in some way to get them back on the site, to convert them into paying customers and into profitable customers, and not just have it as a kind of sunk cost or a wasted ad spend. So it's something to think about. I'm sure you've all been giving it some thought. What are your strategies going to be for converting those shoppers into buyers, given that there's going to be such a big increase in shoppers that might be otherwise unfamiliar with the brand or the product? That the decision-making cycles that are going to be happening over this period are so significantly reduced. It's much more of a shorter time from initial research to consideration to purchase. And that, of course, consumers have so many opportunities. Every retailer out there will be putting on the same type of offers and deals. So really need to be thinking about, what am I going to be doing differently? What are my strategies for converting shoppers into buyers? Mm-hmm. Well, there's 3 things that are true in this world. 1, the sun sets in the west. Australia has an awful lot of dangerous wildlife. And 3, reviews increase conversions. It's just a fact of life. It's proven. And so reviews like this that include a visual insight into the customer themselves, into a customer's experience in their own words, structured insights into specific product dimensions, and even insights into customer characteristics. This is truly one of the most powerful conversion optimizing tools that retailers have at their disposal. Mm-hmm. And this has been proven for all retail verticals, whether it's apparel, accessories, makeup. It works in all verticals, and indeed it works for retailers of all sizes. So for folks that are just starting out, right through to the $100 million a year businesses, I mean, even all the way up to Apple. If you look at Apple, they have customer reviews on their website. They're not taking a punt on reviews, they're doing it because it's proven to increase conversions.
Yeah, I know when I look at, I shop for Kindle books all the time, and like almost every day. And I always look at the reviews. I actually don't buy books that where they don't have enough reviews, or where the reviews are pretty poor.
Yeah, exactly. It's been proven over and over again. I think these quick stats here are some of the more compelling ones. So 95%, nearly everybody wants to read reviews before they purchase online. Displaying reviews, increased conversions, percentage-wise, from a huge number, 270 is the figure they called out here. What that might be for you is going to be varied based on a number of different input variables, but it's going to increase it by some significant amount. And I think this last one is particularly interesting because you only need to have 5 reviews on a product to increase the likelihood that a shopper is going to purchase by more than 4 times. So I think there's an interesting insight that we can connect here back to apparel retailers and how I mentioned that they're potentially the least well represented in terms of retailers using reviews. And one of the reasons that I hear from them about why that is because their product has short life cycles. They might say, Matt, t-shirts come and go. We have new t-shirts every 3 months. Or even if, say, the Fashion Nova cases where it's like, this dress is churning and burning within the next couple of weeks kind of thing. Well, the great news is you only need to have 5 reviews on a product to increase the purchase likelihood by nearly 4 times. So it's such a small threshold in terms of what you need to get for reviews to have an impact. Okay, so why is it so effective? We know it's so effective. Why is that the case? We've got all these fancy marketing tools these days, customer lifecycle marketing, retargeting. We've got the latest marketing tech under the sun to help retailers make sales. So why is this core factor of just getting folks sharing their experiences still so effective? And really, it's related to, you can boil it all down to these 2 unassailable reasons related to the human condition. So inherently, humans are social creatures. We want to connect with, we want to identify with, and we want to align our purchase decisions with people that have the same set of values, beliefs, the same set of characteristics and requirements as our own. And the second piece of it is that, to be honest, humans, and they're obviously consumers, we're actually not great decision makers. We're actually pretty lazy. And so rather than go through the effort of comparing all the different types of kind of attributes that go towards making an informed purchase decision, like based on price, based on however many number of retailers there are in the market, and going through a very logical flow of why they should or should not make a purchase, it's much, much easier to just defer to the wisdom of the crowd. So like Sid said, I could look at a book, I could see it looks interesting, but if there's no reviews on it, I'm not going to buy it. Whereas in contrast, if I see another book that has 6, 7 reviews and everybody says it's great, I'm assuming, Sid, you're going to be more likely to consider purchasing it at least.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I actually look at the reviews first before even the book description. Yeah,
exactly. So those are the reasons, and then it comes down to, okay, UGC is effective. We know why it's effective. What makes great UGC? What makes an impactful review? And how can you generate reviews that have the greatest impact on conversions? This piece of insight here from a company called FanFuel is quite interesting because it was able to break down the specific things that consumers are looking for when they're assessing reviews. So the top one is determining whether or not the product is going to be right for them based on the experiences of other folks, and ideally other folks that are just like them. The second point is to be able to identify whether or not past customers have had problems with that product. And let's be honest, there are sometimes problems, and good retailers will publish those reviews within reason and potentially add a reply so that shoppers can also see that, hey, this retailer is, one, transparent and honest in publishing feedback, and two, responsive to customer issues and proactively addressing them. So given that that's one of the top two most important things that folks are looking for from reviews, you can also bundle in an opportunity there to leverage, even though it's negative, you can turn it into a positive. Consensus about whether or not the product lives up to the seller's claims. So does it do what it's supposed to do? Is it effective? Is it easy to use? Is it durable? Again, that's that fourth one, insights into how the company has responded. That's obviously related to the second point. And comments about whether or not the product lives up to what was described in the description, or perhaps whether or not the watch that they received actually looks like the fancy product photography that they may be informing their purchase decision on. And that's, of course, where customer photos and videos can be a really powerful driver, because I've got to be honest, sometimes you do purchase something online and what comes in the mail may not have just as much shine as what it did have in the product descriptions. Okay, so some of you may be using reviews already, and if you are, I imagine some of you may have reviews that look like this. It's a name, it's a star rating, and it's a very brief verbiage on the customer's experience. It's okay. It's better than having nothing at all, but it's not awesome. It's not the very best type of review that you can provide. And in many ways, it's going to be a lost opportunity because you had shoppers looking at reviews, wanting to use them as a tool in their purchase decisions, and you could have provided them so much more than what this does. And so it's a lost opportunity to help them convert. You've left money on the table. If this person doesn't go on to convert, it's lost revenue because you had the tools to be able to convert them, to give them the insights that they were looking for. In contrast, it's going to be reviews that look more like this that really do drive conversions. So this is a screenshot from one of our customers called the Pulse Boutique. And you can see it includes pretty much all the types of content that shoppers are going to be looking for. Pulse Boutique is a Shopify Plus retailer in the fast fashion space. They turn over products very quickly, but they're also doing high volume, so they're able to generate, a product comes online, they're very quickly able to generate 5, 10, 20 reviews, all that look like this, where you can see the customer's social media profile picture, insights into their sizing dimensions, their experience with the product in their own words, the specific product attributes, quality, comfort, sizing, and of course here on the right, this very large, compelling customer-submitted photo where you can actually see the product that is on sale in a natural consumer setting as well.
Nice. That bit about like the the age, size, height, that's really important, especially for apparel, because when I'm, for example, shopping online for like a jacket or a shirt, I want to see people who are like my height, my build, to see if the shirt's going to fit. It's not going to make sense for me to see like a review from someone who's like 10 times bigger than me or something like that, right?
Exactly right. Exactly. And what's really interesting is if you look at retailers who have customer reviews but don't use these type of structured insights, you'll notice that customers are just volunteering that information in the text part of the review by itself. So it's like, this is the type of information that customers want to share because it's also the type of information that they were looking for when they were trying to make a decision. So they're kind of like giving back, like, okay, this is what I was looking for. Let me provide it to you, and I hope that you can make better decisions. Now, this is another type of review from our customer, The Ridge. They sell accessories. It's a wallet. The same type of thing here. I guess what's interesting to call out is the actual free text entry part of the review is quite short. But that hasn't stopped this being an otherwise very interesting and compelling review and useful review. Whereas if we had just kept it with the text and the star rating, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as useful or impactful. And makeup. So again, we can see key insights into things like staying power, the feel on the skin, this customer's skin type, and that type of stuff is really so important for the skincare and makeup sector, where people are only ever interested in insights from customers that have the same type of skin type or skin concerns as they do. Someone that has oily skin, the needs are just so different from other customers that might have dry and aging skin. So these are the type of reviews that are really going to have an impact in terms of converting shoppers into buyers. Okay, so great. Reviews are good. Reviews help folks convert into shoppers into buyers. You're sufficiently convinced. What are the next steps? How are we going to use reviews this Black Friday and Cyber Monday to convert those shoppers into buyers? What's the strategy? This is a really simple flowchart that I think is going to set us up for what the next steps are going to be. So, do you already have reviews? If the answer is no, then y'all need to get some. Before Black Friday, Cyber Monday, it's time to go get some reviews. If you've already got them, are they awesome? Do they include the customer photos, the product attribute ratings, the customer insights, the customer profile pictures? If they don't, y'all need to go get some. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And if you do, well, then it's a matter of optimizing. So getting more of those awesome reviews, drilling into specifically what it is that you want to ask customers to rate as part of the review capture process. And I guess tweaking whereabouts you're showing those reviews at key points throughout your website. Really, the next part of this call is going to be talking about if you don't have any awesome reviews, or if you have reviews and you now need to turn them into awesome reviews. So let's start at the beginning. It's true that time is short. This other slide from Aaron's deck was particularly interesting as, okay, everyone's preparing in September, but there's also a portion of you that are still preparing in October. Admittedly, we're towards the end of October. So time is short, but there is certainly still time to really get an awful lot of UGC that you can use this coming Black Friday. So 10 days, that's really all you need.
Nice.
So from day one, start with 0 reviews potentially. On day 10, have hundreds of awesome customer reviews that you can use on site to convert shoppers into buyers. So theoretically, let's say October 29, which is going to be next Monday, install the Okendo app. Takes 1 day. Well, takes 20 minutes, but let's just say it takes 1 day for you to fiddle around with. October 31st, 2 days to finalize the feature configuration. So to get everything in line for your store, for your brand, for your products. That's going to take about 2 days. Then by November 1st, we're going to launch a campaign, an email campaign, to capture high quality, impactful customer reviews. That's going to take about 7 days. And so by November 7, you will be showcasing high quality, content rich UGC all throughout the buyer journey on site. So by my calculation, that still leaves you enough time to run the final site checks, to put everything into code freeze. You've still got 2 weeks before it's showtime for Black Friday. So I'm going to walk you through these first 2 steps of how you can do that. Step 1, install Okendo. It's a real simple process. We'll guide you through it. The way it works is the Okendo platform is a prepackaged Shopify app. It integrates deeply with your store with 1 click. we will install it onto a duplicate of your Shopify theme, which essentially gives us a bit of a sandbox environment where we can show you how it's all going to look and feel kind of in situ on your site without any interruptions to the live store, of course. If you're coming from another type of system where you've already got a few reviews, we can certainly import those into Okendo. And as part of the initial install, we'll make sure what you're first seeing is actually on brand and in line with your site design. So again, this step, it's super quick. It's only going to take about 24 hours. Bit of a lag there. Okay. Step 2, feature config. So there's really 3 core features of the Okendo platform, which you're going to want to configure before you can start off on this review capture program. The first one are those product attribute ratings. So the quality, the design, the comfort, all of which can be on a rating from 1 to 5, or the insights into customer sizing, skin type, skin concerns. And we certainly have a range of a kind of attribute library, if you will, which we can set you up with as a starting point. The second point, it's going to be the review rewards. So we can certainly offer incentives for customers in order to leave their reviews. And that might be discount coupons towards future purchases. It could also be loyalty points if you're using one of the 2 loyalty platforms that Okendo integrates with, Loyalty Line and Smile. And the last one is the review request email. And that's going to be the kind of the mechanism that we're going to use to go out and request customers leave you reviews and leave all that other awesome customer content as well. Realistically, it's only going to take 1 to 2 days. Again, we're super experienced with all this stuff. We'll provide you with onboarding assistance, best practices in terms of what we see other retailers using that are similar to you, and we'll ensure everything's configured for your specific requirements. So attributes, I think we've kind of covered this stuff, but it's the specific things that you're looking to identify about both your products and your customers. These are on the left, the product attributes. These are the things that you think, 1, customers are most interested in understanding about your products, and 2, also what you're kind of most interested in highlighting about your products as well. So if you've got key value drivers, like we know our product is super high quality, then what you want to do is get customers to rate your product specifically on the attribute of quality. And on the left is the customer attributes. So things like skin type, hair color, that type of stuff. The review rewards, this is where the coupons or the loyalty points. You can offer a tiered incentive system. So where you can progressively enhance the reward that the customers are receiving as they include additional content with their review. So you might say, hey, if you want to just leave us a standard review, you can get $5 off your next order, or 5 points, say. But if you want to be awesome and upload a photo or even a video, well, then you can actually increase that reward to, say, $10 or $20, respectively.
I like this sort of review reward system because not only do you get the actual review from the customer, but you also you incentivize them to go and buy another product from your store again. Right? Exactly right, Sid. And that's something that I was going to touch on later, that not only are you just going to be generating this initial pool of reviews and UGC, but you're also going to be kind of reactivating, re-engaging customers just a couple of weeks away from Black Friday. And a request for a review is, it's a personal interaction. It feels a lot more personal than a standard marketing email does. So it's a great way to reactivate, re-engage, potentially even to inform customers about some of the specific dates that you have in mind for the upcoming sales as well. And the email. So we can certainly design the email that you're going to send out to request reviews over that 7-day period to be on brand.
You can customize the messaging, and we'll work with you to figure out, in order to capture a big volume of reviews, how many customers do we need to include in this email campaign to get the hundreds of reviews that we're looking for? So a really quick way to do this is to send this email out to historic orders. So let's say you're going to look back across 120 days worth of historic orders in order to rapidly build a pool of impactful UGC ahead of Black Friday. Well, let's say that includes, say, 10,000 orders over the last 90 days. If we're thinking we're going to convert those emails at a rate of approximately 5%, and that's very doable. And in fact, I would be aiming for higher than that if you were going to be offering incentives as well. Then you can very easily be walking away with about 500 or more reviews at the end of that 7-day period. So just kind of let that sink in a little bit in terms of, if we got started on this next week, we could have 500 more reviews ready to showcase on site at Black Friday.
That's pretty awesome.
It really is that straightforward, and it really is going to have that much of an impact on your conversion rates.
Mm-hmm. And like you said earlier as well, I mean, even if you don't get up to 500, you still just need like 5 reviews to quadruple the conversion rate on your products.
Exactly. So you might be wondering that, I've got a large product catalog, may well get a lot of reviews, but they're going to be spread out. Well, there's some solutions to that in terms of review grouping and highlighting reviews all in one central location. But yes, exactly that as well. You only need to have 5 reviews on a given product in order to see a 4 times lift in conversion rates. So if you've got a small product catalog, well, then you're laughing, because it's obviously going to be an awful lot easier as well. But yeah, certainly for larger product catalogs, there's effective solutions there as well. Okay, so hundreds of reviews, that's what's going to happen. And as we spoke about, you're going to have re-engaged customers primed for repeat purchase, potentially through the discount code or the accumulation of loyalty points. And the emails that you send out here are a great opportunity to let them know about upcoming dates, in particular, around the Black Friday sales period as well. Now, once you've got all this awesome customer content, it comes to the kind of fun time of starting to deploy it at key points throughout your website as well. Now, you're going to want to use different types of content to achieve different types of goals. And that's going to be relative to where the customer is up to in their kind of purchase journey throughout the website. So if you're driving traffic to your homepage, then you want to have immediate trust signals showcasing just how popular the brand is. Once a customer gets to the product page, you want to start giving them more specific information, of course, about the product and the customers. You can highlight customer media, the photos and videos that get included with reviews at key points throughout the site as well. And one thing we haven't touched so much on, but it's certainly something that the Okendo platform offers, is questions and answers. Ability to give shoppers the ability to ask a question to you, the retailer. So essentially addressing those pre-purchase concerns or queries that may not otherwise be addressed through the product descriptions or FAQs, that type of stuff. So this is an example of the homepage carousel, where you're showcasing your most recent approved 5-star customer reviews. And as I said, the goal here with something like this is, as soon as a customer or a shopper touches your homepage, they can see straight away, this is a brand that other customers know and love. Nearly 9,000 reviews. We can see the people behind the reviews. And it even gives them the opportunity to, if they're kind of interested in any one of these particular products here, to click through into that specific product and to check it all out as well. But at a high level, it's just build brand trust, particularly for new customers. If they haven't heard of you before, but they were interested by your offer or the product they saw on the Facebook ad, when they get to the homepage, they can know straight away, this is a brand customers know and love. Then once they get to the product page, the goal starts to shift to building trust in the product. And that includes all dimensions of it, that it's high quality, that people like it, that it's a good fit, that it's a good idea to complete a purchase. At the top of the product page, you can start to showcase that with an aggregate star rating and with the review count. It's simple, elegant, of course, nothing particularly complicated there. It's just an immediate signal. And it's also a link which, when clicked, can take customers down to the more specific granular insights that customers have about this particular product. The first part of that is going to be the review aggregate, where you're rolling up all the different types of customer insights that have been submitted with the reviews and the media into a single section on the product page. And of course, you can determine where you would like this content to live on the product page. So you can see the percentage of reviewers that would recommend the product, the star rating distribution, the aggregate star rating, the aggregate of these range-based product attributes. So the scale of poor to excellent, or sizing, runs large, runs small. And here on the left, you can see an aggregate of customer media, which when expanded, kind of gives this media gallery that's intended to help kind of build excitement into the product itself as well. So customers get to see what this product looks like in a natural consumer setting, to see all that the happy, smiling faces of the folks that purchase this product, and yeah, just get a feel, I guess, for what the product looks like if they were to bring it home over the next couple of days as well. And of course, as we looked at earlier, this is really where the magic starts to happen. So when a customer's down to that review level, they're really very close to purchasing, and your goal is to facilitate that decision making, to get them to arrive at the decision to purchase, and showcasing or giving them the tools that enable that decision making. Like, okay, I'm 5'2" as well. The size that I need to purchase is small, and therefore I'm going to go ahead and complete it. Mm-hmm. And it's going to look something like this in real life on me. Questions and answers. This is particularly relevant, I think, for products that promise a certain outcome. So it could be makeup, hair color, skin types, electronics products. There's often pre-purchase questions that customers have that need to be answered before they can feel confident enough to go ahead and purchase. Oftentimes, you might have different tools to provide those answers. That might be, of course, product descriptions, FAQs, live chat. Adding in questions is just another great way for folks to feed in questions that you can provide answers to. And over time, as you build up this list of customer questions and answers, because it's for public consumption, essentially it acts as like a crowdsourced FAQ.
Yeah, I like this idea of having the Q&A on product pages. I don't see too many stores doing this, but I've seen it on Amazon. It's a really good one because they have that. And I also look at this when I'm looking at, the product reviews. For example, sometimes, customers may want to know, hey, does this, ship to my location, or, have people bought this item in, let's say, Canada? And sometimes other customers may also jump in there and answer for you.
Yeah, exactly right. Oftentimes, customers or shoppers are not particularly interested in what the brand or the retailer has to say. They want to hear some answers from past customers. And again, that's what this type of Q&A functionality can enable. Okay, so you've got UGC layered at key points throughout the buying journey. It only took a week or so to build up. These are the ways that you can start to measure success. Starting first with, I guess, a kind of performance analysis, the return on investment piece, how well the reviews impacted conversions. The best way that we see it being done is with an integration with Google Analytics, so that you can, via custom events that get housed in Google GA, and so you can do stuff like conversion rates of shoppers who interact with any type of UGC versus shoppers that don't. And that's going to give you a really kind of accurate insight into just how impactful the UGC is in terms of driving conversions. And of course, there's going to be other kind of higher level type of insights that you can pull out in terms of the success of the UGC campaigns, like how many reviews you're generating, what the aggregate star ratings are, products that perform better than others. But I think particularly in the context of UGC driving conversions, these custom events in GA, that's the easiest way to do it. And it's probably going to be your marketer's preferred path of doing it as well, having all the data living in a single location, which is the majority of the time going to be Google Analytics.
Yeah.
Okay, now a few bonus tips here about how you can leverage UGC at various points throughout the customer lifecycle. So not just for conversions on site. One of probably the biggest additional reason that we see retailers valuing customer reviews is for the ability to send low-rated reviews or customers that have identified issues with their reviews over to the support team so that they can address whatever those issues were. Okendo's integration with Gorgias is exactly the type of use case which this is intended to address. So you might do something like all reviews that are 3 stars or less and or contain negative sentiment in the language of the review. Let's send that straight to the support team. Let's open a support ticket in Gorgias, route it to a support rep, and get them to follow up and proactively address whatever the issues were that customers raised. Super powerful stuff. I'm sure you're racing.
Yeah. This is a really good way to especially if you're getting a lot of reviews coming in, when we do this 10-day campaign sort of thing, to automate that sort of thing so that you don't miss out and suddenly a bad review goes up on the site and you miss it, and you don't resolve it quickly. But also automating it and redirecting it to your support desk, like in Gorgias, where you can also see what else the customer has purchased, how long this person's been a customer for, whether they've contacted you on like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, some of the other social channels. You'll see it all in one place. So you can say, oh, this person did reach out to us earlier, we didn't respond, that's why they're upset, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And reviews, of course, the number one reason is that you want a system like this and to get reviews on site from your customers is to showcase the happy and positive experiences. But just as important is being able to identify customers with issues and help resolve them. Because any business that plans on being sustainable needs to recognize that as a priority as well. And this is going to be one of those, tools that really enable that strategy.
Yeah, and sometimes customers just get angry because for some unrelated, maybe you didn't respond to them fast enough, and so they sort of give you a bad review on the product, even though the product is actually good. And so being able to sort of resolve that just by talking to them or supporting them, often ends up with them changing their mind and improving the review.
Exactly right, exactly. And when you do have those instances, you may address the customer's issue, and they may say, "Great, thanks so much. Can I please update my review and provide you a glowing one?" And you can certainly do that through Okendo. And they say, customers that have support issues that can go on to be addressed, go on to be happier, more loyal, more profitable customers as well. So the integration with Okendo of Gorgias would certainly enable you to feed them back into Okendo to leave a more positive review as well. UGC content can be included earlier in the customer's decision-making, earlier in the kind of buying journey in Google search results, perhaps when they're just searching around for different product types. So if they're searching for pink hair dye, pink hair color treatment, you'll be able to showcase your star ratings in the organic search results. The theory here being that the way reviews are loaded into a Shopify page is done in such a way that it's going to be visible to Google search crawlers, which means that you get the kind of SEO value of all that unique natural language content that Google certainly loves. And that's going to have an impact on your search rankings. And then showing this metadata in the search results, often referred to as rich snippets, the theory being that this is going to help increase your click-through rates as well. Similar type of thing for Google Shopping. So using Okendo, you can integrate your product ratings feed so that they show in your Google Shopping listings and also in Google product listing ads as well. Retargeting, we did see that at the beginning of the call, one of the key channels is going to be retargeting customers or shoppers that have visited the store and didn't convert. You may also want to retarget them with reviews of products that they looked at but didn't buy. You can certainly do that directly through the Okendo system, actually. And very shortly, you'll be able to do it through an integration with Shoelace. That's been on the burner for a while, so everyone go hassle them, tell them that we want that integration complete. But for now, you can certainly do it directly through the Okendo platform as well. And as we mentioned, the loyalty program integrations. This is definitely one of the, I agree with the points and sentiments that Steve from Smile raised in terms of retailers that want to build sustainable businesses need to be focused on customer loyalty, maximizing customer lifetime value, and generally building relationships with customers that are based on more than just transactions. And a review program that's integrated with the loyalty platform, that's definitely one of the key tools that you can use to enable that strategy. And I think that's kind of a nice way to finish today's talk. So 10 days is all it's going to take for you to generate an awesome amount of UGC. You'll be able to determine which of that content you'd like to show at key places throughout your site, using a range of different kind of display widgets and tools. It's going to have a big impact on your conversion rates. Reviews that come through can be used earlier in the life cycle, later in the life cycle, and particularly in the latest context. You also want to be thinking about the strategies that you're going to use to keep customers beyond just this Black Friday sales period. And integration with something like Smile Loyalty Line is a great way to do that. So that's it. Thank you so much. I hope that was helpful. Let's kick off some Q&A.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks a lot. And, you mentioned like all the integrations. We've had some of these apps like Shoelace and Smile, and of course, Gorgias speak at the summit as well. So, by putting together this plan, this 10-day plan, I think you mentioned you have like a little gift for everyone as well, a free offer, plus all the other integrations. If you're using them, they've been giving free offers. So really, this is all about, putting together all of these automated systems and preparing yourself for that Black Friday. So collecting the reviews, getting that content out there, making sure you're treating your customers well and giving them a good experience to help you increase conversion rates and then increase sales even after the holiday shopping period. So yeah, the offer, Matt, did you?
Yeah, we were originally thinking to give away 1 year free of our Pro plan to one lucky talk attendee. However, I was feeling particularly generous last night, and I thought, let's just bump it up to Okendo Power. So yeah, I'm not sure what the mechanism is to give this away. I don't know how previous apps have been doing it, Sid, but there is one lucky person will get a free year of Okendo Power.
Right, yeah. So one lucky person gets this plus a bunch of other giveaways from some of the other apps. And that is we determined based on everyone gets like a new point if they share the summit or they share your talk specifically. If they upvote your talk when they watch the replay or if they attend it live. And so at the end of the summit, basically by the end of today, I'm going to look at all the data and we'll pick one. Our system will pick one automatically. So that lucky winner will not only get the free year in Okendo, power, but as well some freers on like Gorgias and a couple of other of the apps.
Fantastic. And the other thing that we had available for talk attendees is everyone that attends today can get a 30-day free trial of Okendo. And hey, we've spoken about it only needing 10 days to generate awesome custom content. So we'll get you all set up with Okendo, whole bunch of UGC, crush Black Friday, and you wouldn't even have had to pay anything for it. Only after Black Friday, once you've either seen the results and are going to be happy to continue on and being a paying customer or not. And it would have been an interesting experiment.
Exactly. There's absolutely no risk, right? You take the free trial, 30 days, set everything up, get those UGC. If you feel like you don't want to continue after Black Friday, that's cool. But obviously you'd probably see like a lot of benefits from using it. So you'd want to continue. And this is available to everyone, not just the attendees right now, but even if you're watching the replay, I'll have the link up on the website and the replay site as well. So you can go collect your freebie. Basically what you just need to sign up for Okendo. And then you mentioned that you came from the Gorgias Summit. Is that how it would work, Matt?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So when you're on the Okendo website, it'll ask you to book a demo. That demo will probably be with me. And yeah, just mention to me or whoever it is that you're speaking to that you saw the Gorgias talk and would love to take us up on the Black Friday free trial.
Perfect. Yeah. So just go to Okendo, go start the free trial. Mention to Matt or his team that on the demo that you came from the summit, you'll get it for free. Anyone who's watching this, whether it's live or on a replay. And then of course there's all the other free apps as well for 1 month free offers from every other app. Put it all together, create your like you spoke about some of the integrations with Smile for the loyalty program, Gorgias for the automated support, and Shoelace for those retargeting ads. Like you've got like a machine there to help you increase sales for Black Friday at no risk. So, yeah. Any other questions? Anything you'd any comments on the talk? Let us know right now. Happy to hang around and answer those questions. But even after, you can always email us. Contact Matt at okendo.io or Sid at gorgias.io.
Fantastic. That sounds great. Thanks so much, Sid.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you everyone once again for joining us. This is basically the last session, the last expert session from the summit, and then I'm going to do a quick wrap up at 2 p.m. Pacific later today, just to give you like an overview of everything that's spoken about and reiterate the offers. Thank you all for coming, and thank you, Matt.
Thank you guys. Good luck with Black Friday.
All right. See ya.
Take care.